So we are on to the next genre, which is short story, and there are 5 short stories that I have assigned you to read here. Today we're going to look at The Necklace. The Necklace, in terms of a narrative, you will be able to follow the events, the sequence of events in the story, and you will be able to identify the characters, and you will be able to identify the conflict and issues discussed in the narrative. Yeah. So it is more of the common narrative that you will be reading. Yeah. And the next short story, Black Cat, by Edgar Allan Poe. It is a mystery. It's a different genre. The Call of Cthulhu, it's by H.P. Lovecraft. This is mystery and all the other genre, gothic, and all that. Yeah. And the next short story, The Clear Well-Lighted Place, this is more of a issues on existence, issue on identity, and issue on why, the meaning of life. Yeah. So Clean Well-Lighted Place is more of a psychological psychological narrative. Yeah, because you do analyze the state of mind of the characters. Yeah, the intention of the characters. And the next short story, which is The Yellow Wallpaper. This is also another psychological play. Sorry, a psychological narrative. Because you look at from the mental state of the character. Yeah. So in fact, if you look at all the stories here, we can actually look at it from this criticism. I'm going to talk about psychoanalysis. Clean Well-Lighted Place, not so much of in Clean Well-Lighted Place, and Yellow Wallpaper. I would say that you will be able to relate to it because it talks about mental health. Which is known about mental health, and so the treatment for mental health is very traditional. Yeah? It's to the detriment of the person who suffer from 5 venture. The Call of Cthulhu would be your, and the text that I would like to share with you. I have forgotten. This one will be, it's due this weekend, and then a theme paper. This is individual task, so we will be talking about theme paper. This is the original date is the original due date is 4th of December, and then I realized I actually extended it to Monday. Yeah, was 18, so I have actually moved it again, so that for some of you, you can actually pull the midnight oil on that Saturday and Sunday. Yeah. So for response paper, for theme paper, yeah, you will be assigned with the short story. Yeah. So I will give you the short story by today. Yeah, after the class. Okay. Okay. So when we talk about short story, short story, because it's a story, yeah, it is a story, it is a narrative. The things that you will look for when you are reading the narrative, reading the short story, would be looking at the characters and looking at their characteristics, their traits. Their traits would be, you would want to look at the physical description, and also the psychological description, the mental description of the character. You would identify the situation that the characters are in, how they react to that situation, why they react as such. Yeah, why do they do the things that they do. So you would identify the characters, identify the situation that they are in, and identify their motivations in all the actions that they are in all the situation that they are in. If they are um, um, if they are in a conflict, you would identify what is the conflict and why that character is experiencing that conflict. And when we talk about conflict, there are three categories of conflict. The character would have conflict within himself, yeah, so the internal conflict, conflict within oneself. This usually you would expand to the idea of the character in search of his identity, because the character would question, who am I, what am I doing here, why am I doing this, why am I in this situation, why am I feeling this way, why do I have this um, um, why am I experiencing this anxiety, why do I have conflict with this issue, in a family or in other larger institution. So you would look at characters and his conflict with himself, and you would have another category of conflict where an individual would have conflict with another individual, yeah, between you and your friend, between you and your mother, between you and your teacher, you and your roommate. So it's kind of like the conflict here will be one-on-one. Yeah, so one-on-one, the conflict is more of individual perception, individual values. Yeah. And then the next category would be you as the individual in collision with the society that you are in, or with the institution that you are in. Yeah. So perhaps you are um, you now, yeah, this is your second year in UPM, and the first year you were some of you didn't get to come to UPM, yeah, and the second year also you didn't, you're still at home. So let's say the thing that I know of is, everybody is to be on campus on week 8. Yeah, so when you come to campus, somehow or other, what is around you, the way people behave, the values are so very much different from what you expected, and so very much different from your own values. So you can't fit in the UPM culture. So you would have this conflict with a larger institution, yeah, because if it's individual and individual, it's easier to resolve. You would sit down and you would have conversation with the other person. Somehow or other you will be able to negotiate and come to a consensus, or you are able to influence the other individual to understand your situation or to accept your values. Yeah. Or it could be the other way around. Your friend is able to persuade you to accept um, his opinion on certain issues. Yeah, so it's easier if it's one-on-one, but if the conflict is within you and a larger situation, larger setting, an institution with UPM, with the rules and regulation, with the culture in UPM, and that that is going to be difficult. Yeah, unless you are someone with position, unless you are with strong voice, then you might be able to negotiate or to make a difference. Yeah, because as an individual against a larger entity, it would be difficult unless you are able to persuade the student body to bring up certain issues that you are not comfortable with. Then you might be able to negotiate, and you might be able to persuade the institution to allow you to practice your values, or you will have uh, a situation in which you negotiate, and the a larger institution will be able to accept your values, and it is being put in the organization values. Yeah. So when we look at characters and traits, yeah, so you look at all those issues, and setting of time, you will be able to when you identify time, when you are able to identify time, then you will be able to relate to the culture, relate to the history, relate to all the issues. Time and setting of place, in a way, it would feed on each other. The information, you will be able to feed on each other, because with the place and time, if it can coincide, then you will be able to look at the culture and values. Yeah. And plot, you are if you are able to trace the development of the story, yeah, how it started, and then the next event, what is the next event, what is the next event, and if you are able to identify the most important events in the story, then you will be able to, in a way, summarize, or you will be able to identify the synopsis of the story. Yeah, because for you to be able to identify the plot, you will be able to identify the structure of the story. This is one of the important things when you need to analyze a literary text, yeah, to be able to identify not just the words but also the structure. And literary elements, all the other literary elements will provide you with the structure. But plot will provide you with the structure, in a way, a concrete structure of the story. Yeah, and once we read about the people in the story, we read about the issues they are in conflict with, or if we are reading about problems that the characters encounter, and if the problems that the characters encounter is related to the time and place, so you will be able to identify the subject, yeah, the subject of the story, and from the subject of the story you will be able to elaborate or extend ideas based on the subject that you have identified. Then you will have the theme. Yeah, so these are the similar literary elements with a poem that we have looked at. Yeah. Okay, so apart from looking at the characters, looking at the place, time, and the sequence of events, and also the subject and issues, main issues found in the story, you also need to look at the language elements. Yeah, similar to poems. In poems, you really have to focus on the words because of the structure of poetry, because it's actually short, yeah, very brief, but the things that you can talk about and things that are raised in poem longer than the poem itself. Yeah, so there are many issues couched in a very short piece of writing. So in short story, yeah, because it is longer than poem, yeah, because you have like a 5 or 8 pages, yeah, of reading, and so It's a longer piece of writing, and therefore you'll have more words that you encounter. But this time around, because it is written in essay form, essay form, and it's divided into paragraphs, so you will encounter a lot more words. You will encounter a lot more phrases, a lot more sentences. And because of this, then you have you can actually look at the analysis of the language. When we talk about analysis of the language, you will look at the style of writing, how it is written. And you also look at the literary devices, identify whether imageries are being used, identify whether simile or simile are being used. Then you look at the structure, you look at parallelism, the style of writing, you look at any use of objects used as symbolism. And when I said just now parallelism and looking at metaphor and simile, so you're actually looking at a figurative language. So you look at literary elements and you also look at the language element. So with short story, the analysis, you have a lot more to work with in terms of analysis. And the reading also is longer, but that does not mean you will take more time than a poem, because poem as it is, even though it is only like 4 stanzas, but you find that you take longer you have to read many times. So if you look at if you compare the amount of time you read poem to analyze and you read short story to analyze, you find that they are of similar length of time, or maybe you read more when you are analyzing poetry. You read more times, a lot more times when you are analyzing poetry. Because with short story, I would say the language is pretty straightforward. Okay. So you are going to look at these elements, and based on character, setting, setting of time, place, and then plot, you have to identify the subject, and then you have to expand the subject to phrase your theme. You need to do this because your next task is theme paper. Theme paper. Let me show you. All right, so theme paper is 10%. So it's not okay. All right, so theme paper, individual work. I will assign you the text. I will assign you the text, and there are 5 texts. So I think 10, something like 10 or maybe 11 people would be doing the same story. Similar to what we have done for poetry, you are encouraged to have discussion within between the people who have the same text as you do, but you are to write individually. You can discuss and all that, but you are to write individually. So meaning that if you write individually, each and every one of us will have different style of writing. So if I see that you have the same structure, you just change 1 or 2 words, I would consider that as not being individual. So in a theme paper, when you read, you need to identify all that literary elements, and then you need to identify also any uniqueness in terms of language that is being used. Yeah, any structure that kind of like strike you and say, oh, if you look at the structure, it's similar, and you can call it as parallelism, the way it's written. And then you have to circle it. Yeah, so again, I would encourage you to have a hard copy of the text, because if you have the hard copy of the text, you'll be able to, each time you read, identify things that you have discovered. Yeah, and also when you do your discussion, perhaps there are things that you don't see, but your friends see it, so you can actually add in that information. Yeah, so it's better for you to have a hard copy of the text. Once you have read the text, you are to identify the subject of the narrative. Yeah, and here, subject of the narrative, there are many subjects. Yeah, there are many subjects. So just list down, each of the subject that you are able to identify in the story. What are the subject of the paragraph? Because each paragraph would have different subject. Yeah, and then once once you have identified the subject, and then you choose which one you want to focus on, and you circle the subject, and then you list out the elaborations on the subject. Yeah. And once you have done that, you are to find evidences from the text, yeah, to support your theme. If you say that social class infringe on individual freedom, yeah, so you would find in what way, because of the confinement of social class, you are not able to do the things that you want to do. You are not able to say what you want to say. Yeah, because if you have very strict code for social class, like um, B40, the social class, yeah, they would have the way they interact with their parents would be different, the language that they use, yeah. And then you would have the so-called the professional group, the middle class, the middle class, the M40, because most of them are educated, yeah, so the language will be different. And the other class, yeah, they would have different language that they use, yeah, so certain codes, yeah. If you have studied linguistic, yeah, you'll find that even with even among Malaysians, but then because of different social class, the language structure is different. And then of course you would look at the age group also, the language, the terms, the slang, would be different. Yeah, so you identify that social class impinge or infringe on individuals' freedom. Then you elaborate why do you say that social class really snuff out individuals' freedom? Yeah, you're not able to do what you want to do. So and then you find in the text, yeah, examples, situation in which the individual are not able to express himself, are not able to behave the way he wants to behave. Maybe in the text you'll find another individual reprimanded this individual, and maybe chase him out of a place because you don't belong here. That kind of situation, yeah. So Evidences, you have to find evidences from the text to support your theme. This is very much similar to when you were doing your video blogging, yeah, because I'm sure you have identified issues dealt in the poem, and then you provide lines from the poem to support your statement. Yeah, so that's a quotation. That's evidences. Yeah. Find evidences from the text to support your statement. Okay. The length of the paper, yeah, it's between 3 to 5 pages, and I think it'll be about maybe about 900 words to about 1005 words. Yeah, so you need to make sure that the font will be a 12, and then spacing will be 1.5. Yeah, and quotations. So I want you to actually look at, there are analyses that people have written on the short story, and then when they give you the quotation, this is similar also with the poem poetry. Yeah, when they give you the quotation, you find that the indentation is different from the rest of the body of your essay, and the spacing also is different. Yeah, so for quotation spacing, it's single spaced, and the tab is different from the whole body of your essay. Yeah, so again, it is essay writing. Yeah, it is essay writing. You know, you have to practice essay writing. So this is the a description of the theme paper. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. So in your first paragraph, yeah, in the first paragraph, you have to state your theme in the first paragraph already. Yeah. Okay. So you know, it's like when you're writing, you have to state the objective of your writing. So I want to read the objective in the first paragraph itself. Yeah. Okay. So that's the um, requirement for theme paper. Okay. So what we're going to do today is, you know, again, if I read and then I tell you what it is, I I think we will need to have more hours where I will kind of like guide you from line 1 until the final lines. But what I'm going to do today is to actually look at the first 3 paragraphs of the short story, and then I would like you to try your hands at close reading. Yeah, try your hand at close reading, and then I would like to hear what you have to say. Yeah, with the close reading. So I think perhaps I will give you about half an hour, maybe. If you need more time, then just let me know. Yeah, but we are going to do close reading. This is not something new because you have done this with poetry. Yeah, with poetry, we actually, what we did was, you know, we were reading closely the text. We look at every word, we look at how it is written, we look at the structure, we look at the chunking, you know, the word choice, you know, everything about the language and the manner, the style that the text was written. So similarly, we are going to do the same with short story. We're going to do close reading. When you know, we talk about close reading, what the purpose is to understand and also to analyze, you know, to to make connection with the larger issues, to make connection with philosophical issue, to make connection with perhaps relate to any literary theory. So that's why we do close reading. Yeah, so we are going to do um, connecting with the previous knowledge that we have, and then we come up with our own understanding of the text based on what we are reading and the knowledge that we have and your projection and your prediction. Yeah. So in close reading, because especially with short story, yeah, we are going to identify, we need to identify the subject and also the theme, and that's why we look at each word, and then we have to maybe take a few steps away and look at the paragraph as a whole chunk. Yeah, the whole chunk. It's because we want to identify the subject and also the issues that the writer couch in the text. Yeah. Okay. So today, after I talked about the after I have I've done close reading of the three paragraphs. I want you then to do the same thing, and I have posted the text that I want you to look at. Yeah, because the text that I have posted at WhatsApp, it has numbers at the right hand. Yeah, on the right you would have the numbers. Yeah, and some of the numbers are like one line or one number. Okay, so that it's so for some of you, if you have only one line or two lines, then you're lucky. Yeah? For some, one number actually representing one whole chunk. So I would like you to on your own discretion to actually just choose. And if you have the whole chunk, just take it as a challenge. Yeah. And anyway, you are doing this in pairs, and I see that let's see, I think three people are not here. Yeah, so then we will just have 58. Sorry. I think I'll just check on the numbering later on. Yeah, because when I do the calculation, because
Madam,
yeah,
I believe I don't know if Iza already told you, she is
yeah.
preparing to go to Azerbaijan tonight. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I know about that, but there are another two people who are not here because 59 people registered. Yeah, 59 people registered. So I think minus Isa, two people are not here. Yeah, so we are down with one pair. Yeah, so that one I think I have to. Get Wafri to sort it out for me. Yeah, but I would like you to do this, yeah, because I feel that if you don't do this, you might have to you might have face difficulty later on when you have to do the theme paper. Yeah, okay. So after I talk about the three paragraphs, then I would like you to work in pairs. Yeah, and I said here one group with 3 members because and I am thinking that one of the group member, this group with 3 members would have Isa in it, because she mentioned that she's not able to attend the class. Yeah, but it seems that now we will be without one. Oh, suddenly someone had just come up and joined the class. Yeah. Okay. So this one, we would have 9 pairs, yeah, doing 5 paragraphs. I wouldn't say 5 paragraphs, it would be like 5 numbers, yeah, because some of the there's one number where you just have to do the whole chunk of the paragraph. Yeah, so that one you have to I hope Wafri can help me to sort that out. Yeah. And then 20 pairs will do 4 paragraphs or 4 numbers. Yeah. So if you're lucky, you just have like 4 lines. But that does not mean that the task would be a lot simpler. Yeah. Sometimes within 4 lines, you would have so many major issues written in that 4 lines. Yeah. So this is the task that I would like you to do later on when I got tired talking. Yeah, so then I need you to do the discussion and talking, and then you'll do this of either you WhatsApp each other, or you can go on Google Meet with each other, or you can go on Zoom with each other. Yeah. So this is after I get tired of talking, and then I will allow you to talk. Okay, so all right, yeah, okay. So let me just kind of like share with you. Where is my? I want to share with you this. Yeah. Okay. So you'll find that, yeah, especially towards the end, yeah, you'll have there are 128 lines. 128 not lines. I do not know how to say this, because sometimes the number actually is if you look at, let me just, yeah, this one, yeah, 105, it has about 2 lines, and then 104 you have 2.5 lines, but there are like number 99, yeah, you have the whole chunk of paragraph there. 94 is also another long passage. The others are just kind of like one liner. So, just kind of like a choose whichever that you feel you are lucky with. Yeah. Okay. But I have, I'm going to share with you I would say the whole chunk. If you look at paragraph 1, paragraph 2, and paragraph 3, that's a whole chunk. And then, somebody else will be very lucky to, to do 4, 5, 6, and 7, because that's kind of like a half a page of the short story. Yeah. Okay, so the short story, the title of the short story is The Necklace. Yeah, and usually necklace, we will associate necklace with female. Well, I mean, male also wear necklace. Yeah, the rappers, or they have, like a lot of necklaces, and really, really huge, big chunk, which looks like the bicycle chain. Yeah. Or maybe the motor, it's kind of like huge chunk of a necklace. But in Malay culture, very rarely we find male wearing necklaces, because I think I don't know, guys who think that they are cool, then they wear necklace, yeah. But most of the guys, you don't see them wearing necklace, yeah. So any of you guys here in this group wearing necklace? Anyone? No, because I guess TESOL semester 3, you guys are uncool guys, yeah. So that as I have emphasized before, that the first thing that you will look at will be the title, yeah. So here the necklace is related to female, so you kind of like guess how the story is about female. And necklace is a decorative item, and necklace also perhaps, I mean, in Malaysian culture, yeah, if the ladies, yeah, if you have really Malay ladies, I would say, you would find Malay ladies from Penang, from Kelantan. They'll just love jewelries, yeah, gold jewelries, and you find them, you know, like chunky jewelries, yeah. So the necklace here would relate to female, and also in a way would relate to in a way, if that person wears more than one necklace, and of gold necklace or diamond, so that female uh, would have certain status, yeah. So necklace, from the type, from the topic itself, you know, we predict that the story will be about female, and also maybe it has some relationship with status. When we talk about status, then we will be talking about position, individual position in a society, and we would be talking about, you know, when we talk about position, then we'll be talking about different group of people, yeah. So maybe when we talk about the position of someone in a society, so we have social group, yeah, social group. And so these are the things that you can kind of like maybe do mind mapping, yeah, with the necklace, the possible issues that we will find when reading this short story. Okay, so the short story starts with see, you know, like when I said that, okay, we the necklace would you know, would relate to female, yeah. So you look at the first sentence of the short story, she. So your prediction that the necklace is about female, I mean the story, you know, is in relation to female. When you look at the first word itself, oh, okay, confirm. Yeah, the story would be about female. She was one of those pretty and charming girls. So she and girls. So it's confirmed that this story will be about female. And if you read the next line, yeah, it says, born by a blunder of destiny in a family of employees. Remember, we said that, you know, social position, social. So we're talking about social group, group of people according to their social status, and this family of employees. So we know that it's talking about a group of people who are working, who work. And when the word employee is mentioned here, we know that this group of people, they work not for themselves, but for other people. So in a way, you have this subservient position, you know, like master and servant position. So when we talk about master and servant position, we can also call it as employer-employee relationship. And we can also talk about, you know, when we talk about employer and employee, we are talking about working class group of people. Yeah, so we are looking at on the working class. And if you read literature, piece, the working class, will be called the bourgeoisie, yeah, the middle class group, yeah. And okay, so I want you to look at the sentence where it says pretty and charming, yeah. When we want to describe a character, we describe it through physical description, and we also describe that person through personality, yeah. Someone who is charming, so charming would be the personality, and pretty would be the physical, yeah? So because these are um, the categories that we put the characters, the description of the characters, so that we'll be able to further analyze the character, yeah. And to be able to further analyze the character, you would have to have information on the personality or the psychological description of the character, yeah. So if you have words describing the character psychologically, then you know that the character is not static, you know that the character is not flat, you know that the character is dynamic, well, maybe it's well-rounded, but it is not a one-dimension character. And so we have a female character. She is described in physical manner and also psychological manner. And the word blunder of destiny, yeah, so you kind of like it gives you the clues as to perhaps it's considered blunder. Perhaps this she does not like the position that she's in, yeah, because that is why the word blunder is written there. In a family of employee, yeah. So this girl is pretty, but unfortunately she is born in the working class, yeah. So because of that, she is in the working class, and so I would say um, they're not so poor, they're not so wealthy, but they have to live without a lot of things, yeah. They don't have that much money, so they don't have the luxury of life. So she had no dowry, no expectations, no means of being known, understood, loved, married by a man rich and distinguished, yeah. So you kind of like, okay, why is the mention of married by a man rich and distinguished, yeah. So you have to look at the society during that period of time. So we are using social cultural, yeah, in the 18th century, in the 17th century, in those days, yeah, because female is dependent on the male to live their life, yeah. Because if you read literary text that was written prior to 20th century, yeah, the female will be without a vocation. The female is without employment. The female is without education, yeah. And it is worse when you are born in the working class. There is no extra money to be spent on female. It's more of money spent for survival. And so here she has no money, no dowry, because again, this is culture. If you are to be married well, you have to have a huge amount of dowry. Then you will be able to marry someone who has more money than you do, or maybe that person will be in the same social class as you do. And so she has no money. no expectation, no career, no position. She has no means of being known. It's like her existence is it's she is there. Nobody knows that she exists. Yeah. And understood here. She has no voice. If she has um, opinion, she's not allowed to voice her opinion. So she is silent. She is kept silent. She has no voice. So this is the position of a female, and that female is without money, is without position. This is what happened to female during prior to 20th century. Yeah. So when you are not heard, when you have no position in the society, when you don't have money, so you are not loved. Yeah, because when you don't have dowry, when you don't have the social position, uh, nobody knows about your existence, and as such, then there won't be any marriage proposal. And the chances of you being married to someone who is above your station is nil. Yeah, there's no possibility whatsoever. Therefore, because of that, because of her situation, yeah, she let them make a match for her. So if she has money and all that, she can have a choice. Yeah, and she could she kind of said, oh, I like that guy, he's good looking. If she has money, she can in a way her choice would be considered, her choice would be heard. Yeah, but because she's all of the others, she is not heard, she is silent, she has no voice. Therefore she has no choice but to be forced in a marriage. She has no say. Yeah, so if you look at the way it is written, she let them make a match for her with a little clock. So the word little, yeah, so it is in a way inconsequential, that this guy is nobody. Yeah, he's a little clerk in the Department of Education. Yeah, there was one. Okay. Yeah. So, she is married to someone who is also from working class. Yeah, because she was from a working class family of employee, and therefore the only person that she can be married to will be from the same class. Yeah, the working class. And so the statement that I made, yeah, social class infringe on individual freedom. Yeah, so you can use this as your quotation, just to support your theme. Yeah, so because of because she was from working class, therefore the only match that she could make will be from someone who is in the working class. Yeah? She can't marry someone who is above her stations, or who is in a different social class as she is. Okay, and what it says also is that here she let them make a match for her. So she is in a way it's saying that she has no choice, she has no voice, she is not considered as an individual. Yeah, so she's just kind of pushed from one place to another. She has no choice. Okay, so let's move on to the second paragraph. Yeah, the second paragraph. Because she was from working class, so she doesn't have the luxury of a lot of things in life. So she was simple since she could not be adorned. Yeah. When we talk about working class, you just have enough to pay the food on your table, to clothe yourself in maybe one or two attire uh, per year, maybe. I mean, if you are able to buy new clothes in every year, you're lucky enough. Yeah. And to pay for the roof over your head. That's all that you have. You don't have that much of an extra. So she could not be adorned. Because of that, she was unhappy. Yeah. So if you look at this description, she was simple, and we would think that simple life is uncomplicated, then you will be happy. But here, this is in contrast, because she lead a simple life. She doesn't have that much extra, so she was unhappy. Yeah. And though kept out of her own class, and she considers herself she was born in the wrong class. Yeah. So she feels that she is. So in a way, with this statement, we can say that, she feels that she is better than everybody else in her family or in the social class. Yeah, because she says, I'm pretty, therefore I shouldn't be in this social class. And so here, simple could not be adorned, and we can relate to not having much money. And because of that, she is not happy. Yeah. We can in one way we can identify another subject here. Yeah, because before this we have identified social class as the subject, and maybe existence as another subject. So here we can identify money as the subject. Yeah. um, and we can actually expand the idea of money in this case, that um, money brings happiness. Yeah. So for this lady, money is the root of her happiness. She will be happy if she has a lot of money. And here, though kept out of her own class, another clue that one of the subjects would be social class. For women have no caste, no descent, their beauty, their grace, and their charm serving them instead of birth and fortune. So she believes that because for female, yeah, if they are beautiful and they have charm and grace, so they should be elevated to the maybe highest social class. Yeah. And this is she feels because it says here she's not happy in being in the class. She believed that this is her idea, that because I'm pretty, I have grace and everything, so I should um, be put in the highest class of all. And for a female, all the other birth and fortune and all that shouldn't be the requirement for a person to be in a class. Yeah, it should be the beauty and the grace and all the physical should be the requirement to be placed in a class. Yeah. So the second paragraph here, yeah, is related to, or you can identify the subject of materialism. You can identify the subject of a social class again. You can identify the subject of money. Yeah. Material possession. Yeah. And here she says that materialism dictates happiness. Yeah, you are happy if you have money. You're happy if you possess a lot of the material things. This is her definition of happiness. Yeah. And the third paragraph emphasized the the thing that we have discovered in the second paragraph. Yeah. Um, and it says here, okay, I've written notes here. So when we talk about social class, yeah, because she's not able to marry someone who is in a higher class than her, there is an indication that the line dividing between one social class to another is very strong. Yeah, it's very difficult for anyone to cross the boundary, except you make your the nouveau rich. Yeah, those who make money through business venture, and or maybe they move to another country and they make their money. When they come back, they become the new rich, the nouveau rich. If that is the case, then you will move to a different social class. Yeah, because you will be able to join the rich, the upper class. Yeah, because you bring in the new rich. But what it is that there is a strong demarcation between social classes, and it's very difficult to jump from one social class to another, unless for a female, yeah, if you marry into a higher class, and to do that you need to be, a special individual, not just beautiful, but it's kind of like beyond beautiful. Yeah, that someone, a male with a lot of property and money would fall in love, at first sight, and if he's not dictated by his family, then he can marry you. Yeah, so if you are from lower class, but then because of your extreme beauty, you're able to attract the attention of a person from a rich family, then you'll be able to elevate your social status by through marriage. Yeah, so the first paragraph in the story hints at that. Yeah, if you are extremely extraordinary, you will be able to marry into money. Yeah, but for her, she's beautiful but not extraordinary beautiful. Yeah, so I guess in some places, yeah, that is why people want to be known. Yeah, want to be known, so that if you are known, people will know of your existence, and then people would be aware of your existence and the possibility of you um, being offered hand in marriage by someone who is from different social class would be greater. Yeah, so the first paragraph itself, yeah, if you read further, you kind of like get a lot of information on the social classes and marriage and the fate of a woman in the century prior to 20th century. And so in this paragraph also, we have information that it is forbidden for a person from another class to marry a person from different class. Yeah, so it's kind of like, it's difficult, it's forbidden for you to marry someone who is above your class, but I guess if you want to marry someone who is a lower class than yours, you will have um, resistance from your family, from your relatives, but the other party would just welcome you. Yeah, okay. So the second paragraph, also, we have the information that because she is dressed plainly. Yeah, the word dress, we get the idea that the superficial, being superficial. Yeah, And in a way, it gives you the hints about the social values of this character. Because the description is more of physical, and then now description of her, the way she wears her clothes. Yeah, she is plainly dressed. So it gives hints to you that perhaps this individual is very superficial, and she values things at face value. Yeah. And in a way, this character is there's no depth to her character. They're very superficial. Yeah. Okay. And also, we know that the value of this character is that money makes her happy. She believes that money will provide her love, money will provide her happiness. This is her value. Yeah. And you can perhaps expand the idea that money brings you love, money brings you with money your life is complete. That kind of a statement, yeah, you can make. Yeah? So here we are being given more information about the setting. Previously we were being informed of the character and the way she is dressed, her physical description, and also what she feels, hint at her values, the value of this character. And this next paragraph says that she suffered intensely. So we know that she doesn't have money, so she is not happy. She suffered intensely, feeling herself born for every delicacy and every luxury. So she feels that she was born in the wrong family, in the wrong social class. So we can see that, she thinks highly of herself. Yeah. So, what kind of individual would you say this character is? She feels that she is too good for, all these people. She's too good for the house that she lives in. She's too good for everything. Yeah. So she suffered from the poverty of her dwelling. She hates it. She hates the place that she lives in, from the worn walls. So now we are being given information of the setting, yeah, of the environment that she is in. So the environment emphasized the social class that she is in. She's in this social class where, everything is drab and poor. The abraded chairs, the ugliness of the staffs, all these things which another woman of her caste would not even have noticed. So if you are if you belong, if you feel you belong to the place, to the social class, you wouldn't have complained. Yeah, you would have embraced all this thing. You would be satisfied with what you have, and be thankful with what you have. But not this character. She keeps on complaining and criticize everything that she has. Yeah, so she's just not a happy individual, and that is really sad because in a way I pity the husband, and the husband, I guess he has no choice. I mean, they were match made, and that's why in a way he has to accept it. But the poor guy, living with this lady, because she would be moaning and groaning and complaining from the moment she opens her eyes and the moment when she goes to sleep. Yeah, I mean, her life is full of complaint because she said, I shouldn't be here. I'm not fit to be, living in this house. I should be marrying someone who is rich. I should be marrying someone who has a better position in the society. So she keeps on complaining. So if you are the husband, would you um, just sit down and and stay quiet, or would you promise this lady and say, I'll work hard, I'll work hard until I die to provide you with a better standard of living? So which one of you? So here we know that she is not happy. We know that this character feels that she is above everybody else in in this setting. And the sight of the little girl from Brittany who did her humble housework awoke in her desolated regrets and distracted dreams. So, but the thing is that she has a servant. Yeah, so in a way, she's not that destitute because she has someone who's helping her with housework. So she doesn't need to do housework, but she still think that she should be given a better lifestyle. She let her mind dwell on the quiet vestibules hung with oriental tapestries, lighted by tall lamps of bronze, and on the two tall footmen in knee breeches who dozed in the large armchairs, made drowsy by the heat of the furnace. So this is what she has, the worn wall, a braided chairs, and she has someone who's helping her with the housework. But then the next sentence, she let her mind dwell on the quiet vestibule. So daydreaming that things would be better. Yeah, that she would have the footman, waiting for to serve her, and she would um, um, imagine, yeah, that the her parlor, the house, the living room. She let her mind dwell on the large parlors decked with old silk, with their delicate furniture supporting precious bric-a-brac, and on the coquettish little rooms, perfume prepared for the 5 o'clock chat with the most intimate friends, men well known and sought after, whose attentions all women envied and desired. Yeah. So the first half of the paragraph, it's about the reality. Yeah. So this is the real situation that she lives in, and the second half of the paragraph, it's about what she wanted. Yeah. Her fantasy. So you have the reality and then the fantasy. So perhaps one of the issues that you would be reading further would be the idea of reality and the idea of fantasy. Yeah, so you need to read further to find out what is this, what's going to happen with this world of fantasy and world of reality. What will happen? Yeah. So remember, I said something about dichotomy previously. So here is one of the set of dichotomy, which is reality and fantasy. Yeah. So in a way, this character uh, cannot accept the reality. Yeah, she should be thankful with what she has, but she is not. Uh, so in a way, the issues about you should be thankful. You should um, um, you should be thankful to not just the your parents, yeah, but also the husband, because she's married, and the husband actually can afford a servant to help her with the housework. She doesn't need to do housework. Yeah, so she is not really that destitute, but then she is still not satisfied with the situation that she's in. She wishes that she has all these other things, yeah, with the tapestry, the footman answering to her demand and all that. Yeah? So these are the three paragraphs that in a way provide you with a lot of with a lot of information, and you kind of like the next paragraph, you kind of like wonder whether the next paragraph will help you to move to a specific direction, because the first paragraph, second paragraph, third paragraph is kind of like issues that are going round and round and round. So you're wondering, okay, these are the things that we read in these three paragraphs, but where will this story bring us? Because you don't see any movement yet. Yeah, so you don't see any movement yet. So the first three paragraph, in actual fact, is your introduction to the story. Yeah, it's what you call the exposition stage. We talk about plot. Yeah, plot structure. So the first three paragraphs, you are being given all this information. So this is the exposition stage. This is the introduction stage. So you have kind of like a solve in a way, okay, that one of the characters will be a female who is not thankful with the lot that she is in. And there is one character that is just being mentioned, the husband. Yeah, the husband. So you have in a way two characters here. But the husband is just being mentioned as the guy, as the little clerk. Yeah, so you have two characters here. But then there are so many information on the setting, on the values, yeah, the female, her life values. And we have contrasting issues. Yeah, so these are the introduction. Yeah, so we have identified one stage of the plot. So we have setting of place, setting of time, and then characters. One character, we have detailed description of the character, and another character just kind of like mentioned in passing. So these are the information. Yeah. So when you are reading, you identify which are the literary, do we get information on literary elements, which literary elements this paragraph provide us with information with, any values that mentioned in this paragraph or in this line. Yeah, so when you read the lines that you are going to be assigned with, you identify this. Okay, based on this event, yeah, something happened in the paragraph that you're going to be assigned with. You ask yourself, okay, which stage of plot would you put this event in? Yeah, so that later on when we talked about it, yeah, when we talk about it, we will be able to place where is the exposition, what are the rising action, what are the climax, the most important event in the story that actually changes the direction of the story. What happened that change the direction of the story? Yeah, because you, based on your reading of the first half of the story, you are thinking, oh, we know, after the party, the husband and wife would live a better life, because now they have gone to the party, they met a lot of influential people, so maybe the influential people would help the husband to get a better position, that kind of thing. Or maybe they're kind-hearted gentlemen who were so memorized by the girl's beauty, they gave her money and that kind of thing. So you kind of like think the natural progression would be that, but then something happened that changes the direction of the story. Yeah, so that will be the climax. And what would be the climax? Yeah, so when you read, if you feel that, oh, I think in the paragraph that I'm assigned with, there's this most important event, I've identified this important event. So when you are sharing with us later on, you would say that, in the reading that I was assigned with, we have identified the event. Tell us what is the event, and then you say that, okay, this is the event that changes the whole direction of the story. So this is the climax of the story. Yeah, so that kind of a thing I want you to identify. Yeah, and then if you have more information, like paragraph 4 would be an extension of paragraph 3, where we read about her unhappiness and dissatisfaction and all that. Yeah. Okay. So in fact, yeah, I just kind of like want to identify here, out of the 3 paragraphs, yeah, the subjects that I was able to identify. I was able to sort of isolate. Yeah, would be female. Yeah, and then social class. I mentioned social class, and then money. Yeah, the subject of money, materialism, material things, happiness. Yeah, existence. We're talking about the existence of this lady. Contentment. We know that she's not contented. Yeah, this is opposite of um, the situation that she's in. She's not contented, and she's also not fulfilled. Yeah, so these are some of the subject that I can identify in within that 3 paragraphs. Yeah, so in your reading also, I would like you to identify the subject, and then maybe I want you to expand further, and in we identify the theme. Yeah, one of the themes, the possible themes that you can identify in this story. Yeah. Okay. I have identified a few phrases I've written here. Money makes you happy. Money brings you love. And the other one is that the existence of social class is the downfall of human contentment. The other one, money dictates females' liberation, because without money, um, women have no say. Yeah. So these are some of the um, issues, themes that I'm able to actually identify from the reading of the 3 paragraphs. And perhaps another thing that because Mathilde, sorry, I'm not supposed to give you the name, because name is not mentioned yet. She here was simple, could not be adorned. So we have the idea of because she feels that the finery would define her. Yeah, so we can say that, do not judge a book by its cover. So sort of like another theme that you can relate to the reading. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. So I've gone over the 3 paragraphs, the whole in a way chunk of the first page. Yeah. And there are quite a number of, I think 3 or 4 more huge chunk of reading. Yeah. So for those of you who have to do that big chunk, my wishing you all the best. Yeah. So once you have found your pair, I would like you to do the close reading, like what I've done, and then I'll come back at how long do you guys think you need to do the close reading? Half an hour, 40 minutes? Because after this, I want you to be in pairs and then do the close reading. I think about I'll give you about half an hour, and then after half an hour, I think at 12:15 we come back on Zoom. Yeah, and then I would like to hear your close reading and your interpretation. Is that did you guys get what you need to do next? I would like free to help me out with the pairing up. I would like to have the the local student to pair with the international student. Yeah, so if you can do that and then come back at 12:15. Question regarding the task that you need to do? Anyone? Question? No?
Madam.
Mm-hmm.
So we pair with an international student. Is that compulsory?
I would like you to. I know it's gonna be challenging, yeah, because of the distance, and you know, but try to get as much as you can. And this is not graded. It's more of guiding you to how to go about your theme paper, finding evidences and all that. So I want you to actually help each other, even though it's going to be a bumpy ride. Yeah, that's you know, that's the kind of thing that I would like to see in you know, with this task. Yeah, so actually later on that's what I'm going to do, you know, to pair you with the international students, because I believe that because of different curriculum and all that, so most of them are actually handicapped in terms of you know, doing the task that you Malaysians are familiar with. Yeah, so yeah, uh, I would like to see you pairing with the international student, because if the international student with international student, it's like I feel like it's two blind people, you know, leading each other, and it will take them longer, and they are not going maybe to the right direction. Yeah, Irene. Okay.
I'm okay with that, madam, but we
Yeah.
only have like 22 international students in our class, so that means only 22 pairs are one international and one local, and the others are pairs of locals.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. There are 22, so only let me see how many. Oh, okay. Um, Surprisingly, everyone is online already. Okay, so 22, so 7 pairs would be of local. And then if, for example, this you know, this 7 pairs, I do not want it to be a guy and a guy, because I want you to pair male and female, because I believe that, you know, the way female look at things are different than the male would look at things. So I want you to actually gain from each other. Yeah. So this is the task of Wafri. You need to help me out with the pairing to ensure that you would have 22 pairs of Malaysian and international, and then there's the other 7 pairs would have to be male and female. But if it's, you know, female, then that's fine, because there's just so many number of female in the class. That's why. All right. So thank you, Wafri. Okay. So once you find your pair, we can go off. Yeah, we can go off. And okay, at 12:20, yeah, we come back at 12:20 because it's 11:46 already. So some of you would have, you know, really long, yes, Wafri. Male and female, the 7 pairs, yeah, Wafri, make sure that you don't have a guy and a guy together. Yeah. A girl and a girl together is okay, but a guy and a guy cannot be together. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you got that. Okay. Thank you, Wafri. So I'm gonna be here. If you have any question, just kind of like ask me. So you need to do your discussion. I think you have to be off this. You have to leave the this Zoom meeting, yeah, because you have to go on another Zoom meeting or Google Meet and that kind of thing. All right. Okay. All the best. I hope you'll be able to see the things that you don't see in the beginning. Okay, so I'll see you at 12:20. So you can have your break also during this time. 4, 5. Okay. If we look at paragraph 4, 5, 6, I think, and 4, 5, and 6, yeah. So 4, 5, and 6, in a way, is a reinforcement of what we have discussed, of what I have mentioned in 1, 2, and 3. But we have more information here, in a way, reinforcing the fact that she doesn't like who she is. She is embarrassed of being who she is. And if we read again, we found out that she actually went to a convent school, and she actually she had classmate or schoolmate who are actually from a higher social class. So what does that tell you? That based on the information previously, that she is actually from working class, but perhaps her parents are in a way responsible for her dissatisfaction in life. Her parents perhaps wanting to give better things for her, so they have actually sent her to a better school not meant for of her social class. Yeah, so perhaps the parents work really very hard to send her to a better school, to send her to a school that is not equivalent, or to a school where people of her social standing are not sent. Yeah, so this in a way give you the impression that the parents are actually in a way responsible for the dissatisfaction in her life. The parents train her to be above of their social status. In a way, perhaps the parents wanting to give the best for their child, and that is why they in a way live beyond their means. Perhaps their parents sacrifice a lot of things so that the daughter can have the best of everything. The daughter can have a good education. The daughter could have the opportunity to rub shoulders with people of a different social standing. Yeah, so we think that no, this is a possibility. Yeah, because the way it is described, that she went to a good school, she went to a school that is not normally a child of her social standing would go. So perhaps the parents scrape to the barrel to actually send her to a better school, to give her a better education, so that she would have friends from a different social class. In trying to be kind, the parents are actually being cruel. Yeah, because giving her expectations that life for her would be at certain standing. Yeah, so for me, that's the kind of information that I would get. Yeah, based on the information of her education. And also we have information on her parents. Her parents are self-sacrificing. So we would think that the parents are kind, self-sacrificing, because that is the value of the normal value of a working class. Yeah, work hard, honest, wanting the best for your children, sacrificing yourself for the happiness of your children. So that's the value of working class. Yeah. So for you people, yeah, to kind of like to dig deeper into this story, you need to investigate, you need to read, you need to research the social cultural of that society during that period of time. So by finding out more about the society and the culture of this this group of people, yeah, in the story, you will be able to share the possibilities of all these events. Yeah. So perhaps that is the case, that is why she thinks she is better than everybody else in her social group. And that's why she is, she is complaining about things, and she's able to actually give you uh, in detailed description of the food that a person from a higher class would have, the description of the glasses, of the tapestry. If you look at the description that she gives, is very specific. Yeah. So how does she know unless she has been in that situation? Yeah. So meaning that she has lived that kind of life before, and that's why she's able to tell us in detail what those things are. What are the food? The way the table is set, the cutlery. So if you read further, it is in detail. Yeah. In so much detail that you kind of like wonder, no, this is not just kind of like plucking it out of the air. Maybe she has been in this situation. That is why she she has given us this very minute detail. That could be the explanation. Yeah. And then maybe then you would understand why she is complaining about her current situation, because she has been there before. In what way was she, was she there before? Because then we read that of her education, she was sent to a good school, and her friends are from a different social status. And maybe during the holidays she was invited into their home for Christmas, for whatever holidays, she was invited to these places, and that's why she knows all these things. Yeah. And because she has tasted the good uh, things in life, and that's why she is complaining. Yeah. So that's one possibility. And then in paragraph 7 and 8, we are given more information about the husband. Yeah. And we read the husband, he is humble, easily satisfied. Yeah. Because I think in the description of yeah, I think in paragraph 4, I think she wait yeah, the husband who lifted the cover of the tureen declare with an air of satisfaction. Yeah. So the husband is easily satisfied, and you can see that the husband is contented, that the husband is happy the way things are. But this is in contrast, yeah, with the wife. And the wife, let's see, so the husband came back one day, and told her, holding in his hand a large envelope, and said that there's something for you, with kind of like this air of importance. And the way he said it, he thought that I have something that will make my wife happy. So you have information that this guy is humble and this guy is kind because he goes out of his way to make his wife happy, even though his wife, grumble and complain all the time. Nothing is right, yeah, in the household. I mean, if you are in that situation, and this time, I mean, if that situation happens now, what will happen? Definitely there'll be divorce immediately, yeah. Or the guy would just kind of leave the wife and say, I don't have to live with you. Yeah, I mean, I can find 20 other girls who would be happy to live in this life that I can provide. Yeah, but in those days, yeah, and we are being we're being given information also that this couple, they are Catholic, and Catholic don't they are strict in terms of Christianity. Catholics are very strict. They don't believe in divorce and that kind of thing. Yeah. So these are the extra information that you should store in your head when you try to do close analysis. Yeah. And definitely this guy is in contrast with the wife. He is humble. He is forever wanting to make the wife happy, finding ways and means, but later on we will see what is the reaction of the wife. Yeah. So slowly we are being pushed forward. We are being brought together with the flow of the story. Yeah. So the first three, we are being given the exposition, the introduction. Now slowly we are going towards the what you call it, being informed of the conflict. Yeah. And we are actually climbing up the oh god, what they call this, um, that's the stage of a plot where you have exposition. Yeah, that's it. Rising action. Yeah, we are actually from paragraph 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8. We are going to be informed of the conflict, but 4, 5, 6, and 7, it's the rising action. Yeah, it's the rising action. So remember that when you share with us your close reading, place where the event is at. Yeah. So 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8, these are rising action, but 8, we are on the verge of discovering the conflict. What would be the conflict? We are going to be introduced to the conflict. Yeah, because in the plot structure, we are informed that there are 5 components of plot: the exposition, the rising action, and the rising action. This is where we'll be informed of the several conflicts that the characters will encounter. Yeah, so 8, we are on the verge of discovering the conflict. Yeah, so the other pair, yeah, what I want you to do is to identify where are you in terms of the plot structure. Yeah, so we will continue this next week. So please be more prepared, yeah, and try to find out more. If you look at the words, if any of the words provide more information, yeah. I have given the slides for today at the WhatsApp group. I would like you to actually focus on, there are actually more theory that we can use, but I want you to look at Marxism, because Marxism talks about the unequal treatment of classes, and the working class. And with Marxism, it says that what will happen is that because of the inequality, there will be uprising by the working class. So instead of looking at the working class as a large group of people, we look at this working class as represented by the individual character, because it says that at the end, what will happen is that there will be chaos, there will be uprising, there will be conflict, because of the inequality in treatment, and because there will be conflict. But in this case, what would be that uprising? What would be the conflict? And the other one I have listed, the moral philosophical. This is like in the 16th century, beginning Greek tradition, literature. Art is always about a mouthpiece for instilling moral values and religious information. So in what way, if we look at moral and philosophical approach, what moral values and what philosophy do you think we can discover from this piece of artwork? And the other one I have identified, existentialism, existence. And this is more like an identity. And you look at, when we talk about identity, look at the main character here, the female character, and then look at our identity in terms of the male character, the husband. So I'll let you to look at from these three main I would say approach to literature. So perhaps when you read your lines that I've assigned, try to kind of like maybe relate to these three main approaches here in reading the text. So we will continue this next week. Okay, the other thing that I want to what do I want to say? Okay, the other thing that I want to say here is that I want okay, I've given you the link for the questionnaire. So please, each and every one of you answer the questions. And okay, before we go, all right, so I hope that, I mean, when you read, when you read, try to just kind of like explore. Maybe you will think that, no, this sounds really weird. I don't think this is relevant, but just say it out. Because like right now, what I want you to do is to explore. To explore and expand what you see in the text. So don't worry about making mistakes and all that. This is the time that you just kind of explore. Okay, so any other question before we say goodbye? Okay, so again, if you have any Basit, I hope that kind of like open up more ideas in your reading, because that's actually quite a lot. So perhaps you want to revisit what what I've mentioned before.
Yes, madam. Actually, it helps me a lot. I'm sorry. Right now, Azan, madam, I don't speak.
No, that's fine. Because I mean, this is your first time. So don't apologize. Don't apologize. We are in this learning stage. We are still on a journey where we do not know where we are going. Because it's all over um, but I hope because I've read this many times, so that's why I'm able to actually discover all these things, and you guys were just kind of reading it in within the 5 minutes. Yeah, so don't this is for everybody. Yeah, don't feel that, my God, I must get this right. No, we are still discovering. If, for example, by week 12, you are still still not clear, then maybe you need to read more. Yeah. So if you don't see all this information, that's fine, because this is your first time, in doing close reading and analyzing. Yeah, because before this, in high school, you're just being dictated what it is. You're not guided to discover. Yeah, but you're going to be a teacher, so you need to know how to look at things in many directions. Yeah, so. I hope when you go back, Basit, you'll be able to see more ideas that I have not mentioned. Yeah, so just allow yourself to explore. Yeah, so this goes to everyone. Yeah, so okay, thank you very much, and let's end our meeting.
Madam, I
one
have a
question.
request.
Okay.
Yes, I think this is going to be the same request as Pavitran. So,
Okay, carry on, Wafri.
there's been my classmates have requested that the due date, the deadline for the video blog assignment be extended to Sunday. Is this possible, madam?
Yeah, okay, I'll change that to Sunday.
Thank you very much, madam. Because some of my classmates have some assignments, a lot of assignments. So we appreciate it very much.
Okay, I will change, but just remind me, Wafi, if you check, I haven't changed the due date to Sunday. Yeah, so
Right, madam.
yeah. Okay, all right. So see you next week, and don't forget to upload and also email me at the same time. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, madam.